All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Quarantine Sessions. I hope you all are having a fantastic Saturday, and I thank you for coming on and joining me today. Whether you are watching on the actual live or rewatching, thank you so much. I appreciate you and all of your support. So I see you guys coming in to, as many of you already know, today I will be interviewing the insanely talented Julia Lester from High School Musical, the series on Disney Plus. Julia has also appeared in shows such as Game Shakers, The Thundermans, Bella and the Bulldogs, Mom, and so much more. I'm super excited to have her on with me today. So whenever she is ready, I will go ahead and add her in, and it looks like she is. So let me click the request. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Jalen. I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing so great. It's so nice to finally meet you.
So nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So, first and foremost, how was your day? How was your weekend going?
Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. How's yours?
Is going so great. And like I said, it is an honor to speak to you today. Back in August, I had the pleasure of interviewing your co-star, Matt Cornett. And like I told him, High School Musical, the series is by far one of my favorite series on Disney Plus and on the platform itself. So I'm super excited to talk to you today. And
Oh,
so I
you.
want to get back and discuss some of your previous work before booking Ashland and then talking about, of course, the show. And I have a lot of questions from your fans and supporters that I would love to ask you today. And hopefully, if we have time at the end, I will do some High School Musical trivia to see how
Oh.
it goes. One. All right. So you began acting when you were 5. What was your journey like starting out, and what made you choose acting as a career?
Yeah, so I actually come from a family of performers. My grandparents are performers, my parents, my sisters, actually pretty far up the family tree. We have a lot of performers in my family. So it was always kind of inevitable that I would be I don't know, that I would have the opportunity to kind of grow up doing community theater and grow up in a musical household. So that's kind of where my interest grew for acting. And then, yeah, it was just really exciting getting to audition and kind of pursue that from a young age, just because I had family who did it. So it was really cool having a lot of support from them. And yeah.
Of course. So did you ever anticipate your acting to take off the way that it has right now?
Oh, I think I always hoped for, opportunities like High School Musical to come along. I mean, this show specifically is really such a dream that I could have never even imagined in my wildest dreams. But, I always hoped that I would, be happy with whatever I was doing, and High School Musical brings me so much happiness. So it's really cool getting to do a job that fulfills a childhood dream of just being happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what did you enjoy most about getting to play other characters and currently working in this film?
Just playing other characters in general, just kind of stepping outside of yourself. It's really exciting, especially I don't know, kind of growing up in a household that was really imaginative and fun, and I always had room to explore with my imagination. So it's really fun, kind of getting to do it as a job, and playing a character that's not myself is my favorite part about the job. It's really really cool.
Okay. So you sing, you act, you dance, and this is something that you do heavily in High School Musical, the series. So growing up and coming into the industry, what came more natural to you?
Oh wow, that's an interesting question. I think I started dancing when I think dance was kind of like the first, before you can really talk or sing or anything. I think you can, clap your hands and stomp your feet. So I think I was put in dance from a pretty young age. So, I don't know if I enjoy one more than the other, but I think that dance was kind of like my foundation for everything. Dance taught me music and a love for performing, and so yeah, I think dance is a really special place in my heart.
Okay. So moving on to High School Musical, the series where you're currently playing the role of Ashland, what do you find the most enjoyable about working on this show, being that you are currently now on the second season?
I don't know. It kind of ties into what I was saying before. I grew up dancing and singing and having theater is a really huge part of my life. So the fact that this show centers so heavily around that is really special and kind of like a one in a million opportunity. So this job specifically has been extremely fulfilling in more ways than I can even begin to talk about. But yeah, this show specifically is really special. And the fact that we've done 2 full seasons is so crazy. And I hope that there will be more. And I just can't wait for this one to come out and for people to see what we've been doing. It's been really fun.
So excited for the next season to come out and hopefully more in the future. Do you think that you and Ashlyn are alike in any way? What are some similarities and differences between you and your character?
Yeah, absolutely. I always say that I really connect to Ashlyn from my younger self's point of view. And I love that about the character that I can look back on certain things in my life that happened when I was Ashlyn's age that, maybe were upsetting to me at the time or confusing or annoying. And I can look at them now at an older age and kind of, I don't know, get to look at my younger self and nurture her a little bit and kind of get to portray that a little bit in Ashlyn. And we always want to like forgive our younger selves. And so this is kind of a cool opportunity to like play a younger version of myself in a sense that is going through similar things that I went through. And it's kind of cool to navigate that through somebody else's eyes, but also from an older age that I am now. Yeah.
So, knowing that High School Musical, the series, took years of development and trying to figure out what they were going to do and what Disney was going to do to find the right fit of what they were going to plan on taking on with this franchise. So, compared to other shows that you worked on, what made the audition project process for this project any different from any other ones that you've worked on?
Yeah. I would say this one was extremely different from the get-go. I mean, as I think it's always kind of really exciting when you get a script or get a character that kind of feels more right than usual. And this was one of those shows where I read the description for the show and I read the description for the character, and I just felt like, I was really right for it, and it felt like I was really excited to audition. And so from the get-go, I felt supported by myself, but also supported by the team. And I had auditioned for Disney a lot since I was super young, and so it was really cool getting to go in after so many years of auditioning and feel so supported and loved by them, and know that this project was kind of different than the other ones, and just like feel really cheered on by everyone. So from the get-go, I would say it was very different, and I'll never forget this audition experience. It was wonderful.
Awesome. So, as mentioned earlier, I interviewed your co-star Matt Cornett last fall. You both actually acted on Bella in the Bulldogs, and
Yeah.
now you play each other's cousins on the series. Y'all didn't work on the same episode. However, is this something that has been brought up, and did this experience help you to bond before working on set?
Oh, I absolutely. I think well, Matt was actually one of the first people that I ever met from the cast. I did a cameo
Oh,
him. Yeah, when he was still auditioning for EJ, I went in and read with him as his cousin, obviously. And I mean, it was perfect from the second I met him. I knew that he was just amazing as EJ from the second we met. But yeah, once we got to know each other, we definitely bonded over the fact that we had both done that show and had been friends with the cast at one point. And he's just a lovely person all around. But that was really cool that we had kind of have that in common.
awesome. Speaking of bonding, what was it like connecting with the cast before filming season one? And were there any moments that allowed you all to get to know each other before production began?
Yes. Funny enough, when we first started season one, we had barely known each other, and we were all living in a new state. We film in Salt Lake City, Utah, where none of us are from. So it was different for the majority of us to be there. So for the first, I want to say like 2-ish weeks that we were in Utah filming season 1, we were put in a conference room, which was upstairs in the studio where we were working. And we weren't really told like why we were up there or for how long we should be up there, but there were board games and snacks, and we just kind of sat there and hung out. And I don't want to use the word forced, because we love each other very much. We were kind of put in an environment where we were kind of like, well, this is the start of us bonding, and this is like where we get to know each other. So we were put in a position where it was, it was time for that to happen. So I was really grateful for that time that we had together, because we had so much fun. I feel so bad for the people that were working in the office, because I just remember like screaming while playing games and like running around and just like acting like, little kids. And, that's why we're so close to this day, because of that time that we had together in that conference room.
That is amazing. The music in this show is phenomenal and just adds a special touch to the series. So I want to talk about Wondering, the song that you and Olivia sing in season 1, episode 2 of the show. This is the first time we hear your singing in the show, and I just remember watching this for the very first time and was completely blown away from your powerhouse vocals, from Olivia's powerhouse vocals, harmonies, the lyrics, and the meaning of the song to the show. When you were presented with the song, what were your initial thoughts? Were you nervous, scared, excited? And additionally, what did you do to prepare yourself leading up to taping the one specific scene?
Yeah. Well, first, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy experience. I found out that I was singing Wondering before I met the cast, before I read a script of the show, before I knew anything. So Wondering was very early on in the process. It was actually the very first song that they recorded for the entire series, which I still think is so special, that I had the opportunity to be, a part of that first kind of, momentous, point for the show, because it was very early on. But anyway, and also that was the first time I had met Olivia, and so just meeting her was just really special too. But yeah, I felt really grateful that we were being trusted with this kind of like first push of music with the show. And I felt very prepared and very encouraged and protected by everybody. And it was my first time ever recording music professionally like that. And from the yeah, and so from the get-go, they were there for me in every way, and we prepared for the song. And then when we actually we recorded the song in LA, and then we moved to Utah to shoot the show. And then episode 2 is when we did the episode, and that was the live singing of the live version of the song, which is what you see in the episode. And that was nerve-wracking in a whole other sense. But at that point, we had shot a full episode of the show already, and we had been in Utah for about a month, and Olivia and I knew each other a little better, and our friends came to support us. And so at that point it was a little bit more of a familiar environment, but still nerve-wracking, but very, very monumental in my I guess career, and something that I will never forget. And I was very honored to be a part of that first song, or one of the first songs.
So the show revolves around a theater company, drama club type setting. Many actors and actresses have used theater as a way to expand in the industry and better their craft. I know you've mentioned that you come from a line of actors. Is theater something that you involved yourself in growing up in the industry?
Yes. So I actually started out doing theater. I did my very first show when I was like 7 years old. And theater is something that will always be so special to me, and was my first kind of introduction to performing on stage for audiences, and getting to be in a show that centers around my favorite thing in the whole world is so special again. So yeah, I just when we get to talk about theater, or when we're in rehearsal settings in the show, those are always my favorite moments when we film those, and when we do the big numbers and stuff like that. Those are always my favorite.
So what are some of your favorite productions? Either it's on Broadway, off Broadway, closed?
Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh, that's a hard one. There's so many. I will say right before Broadway shut down, I did get really into Six the musical, which was
Okay.
fairly Broadway. I know it opened in London a couple years ago, but I don't know. I could be totally wrong with my facts, but I was really into that show right before quarantine. Yeah, but I love all kinds of shows, and I grew up on little cassette tapes called Broadway Kids, and we would listen to them in the car, and that's like primarily the music I grew up listening to. So, yeah, I'm like a big theater nerd.
Me too. Me too.
I mean,
So, what is by far your favorite stage play that you've been in?
ooh, oh, that's a good one. Um, let's see. I did a production of Carrie when I was 16, and that was really, really special, which was like almost 5 years ago this coming summer. And now that I think about it, it kind of freaks me out that it was so long ago. But I loved doing that show, and that was kind of like, there's always those special shows that kind of reassure you how much you love performing in theater, and that was like one of those that was like really special for me.
Okay, so back in December, you all released High School Musical, the musical, the holiday special. You sang Hanukkah Melody along with other songs with the cast. Did you all film this with season two, or was this something that was just spontaneously done after season one?
Yeah, so this was kind of something that came up because of the circumstances we were in, kind of being separated throughout the country. And so it was, yeah, something special that we got to do in the summer, kind of right before we came back into season two. And yeah, so grateful to Tim Federle for that, that incredible idea to have us come together to sing and create something special for the holidays. So yeah, that was kind of more of a spontaneous something that happened.
Okay, awesome. So, like you said, I know there was a huge pause in production due to the current times that we are in. When you were able to resume working, how was it being on set opposed to working on season one when there was obviously not a pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, our main priority was to stay safe and make sure that we were following, all the rules and guidelines to keep everybody safe and healthy and make sure that we were, creating a show that was safe behind the scenes. But, all in all, it's really wonderful getting to look back at the show and realize that despite everything and maybe some challenges or that we faced or adapting that we had to do, the show never lost its heart, and it doesn't look any different than season one. If it looks any different, it's enhanced or better or more exciting. So yeah, that was the best part, is that despite everything, we remained such a close, tight-knit family and still created such a great show that doesn't really reflect what was going on.
Awesome. So, back to your character, Ashland, if you could describe her in 3 words, what would those words be?
Ooh, okay. I would say protective, um, supportive. Oh no, okay. I'll say protective, inclusive, and loving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so, being that we are going to see more of your character in season two, what are you most excited for people to see from her?
Ooh, yeah, I think, I don't know. I think I've talked about this before. Some of the decisions that Ashlyn made last season were sort of in her best interest and things that made her feel comfortable. And, even like the big kiss with Big Red was something that she initiated and something that she, wanted to do. So I'm kind of excited for moments where Ashlyn kind of questions herself and may not be so as confident as she feels. But there's a lot of really wonderful moments from all the characters, especially a lot of people that we didn't really hear much from last season, and that's what I'm most excited to see.
Okay. Well, the trailer for season two just looks simply amazing. And me personally, I'm super excited for what you all have in store. What can viewers expect from this season, new characters, and the overall premise of the show?
Yeah, well, now that the trailer is out, it's really exciting that people now can have a better taste of the rivalry competition that's sort of brewing with this season. And that's something that we haven't really been able to talk about until the trailer came out, because it was unknown. So yeah, there's some drama that happens this season. I'm really excited for the rivalry and for people to experience new characters and new personalities that either with the ones that are already in the show or maybe don't, or yeah, so there's just a lot of exciting things, and it's cool getting to sort of vaguely talk more about it now that the trailer's out.
All right. So I have some questions from fans that were sent in on under my comment section and under my stories. So I'm going to ask some of those. And then at this time, if you guys have any questions you would like to ask Julia, you can ask them in the question box or in the comments. And I'll try my best to get through some of them before we do trivia and then wrap up, of course. So this first question comes from _samaya.s. How would you describe your relationship with the cast?
Ooh, I think a loud, rowdy sleepover full of drama kids. That's how I would describe the relationship with the cast. And it's so fun, and we have the best time together, and it's like the most fun, exciting environment on set.
Of course. And this next question comes from Cat Chung _17. And I really loved this question because it was very interesting when I read it. She says that there are a lot of actors and actresses who talk about their success. Are there any failures in this industry that, in a sense, help motivate you to keep going?
Sure. I don't know. I think that's an interesting word. I don't know if I would say that there's any failures in this industry. There's definitely road bumps, but I don't know. I think it's more about the learning that you get. If you ever feel like you're in sort of that space where I don't want to use the word failure, but if you feel in a space where you're maybe feel unfulfilled, or in a spot where you're not as proud of yourself as you usually are, something like that, those are the learning moments where I feel grateful for rather than nervous about or scared about. So I don't know. I think those moments are where you learn the most. So I kind of get excited about challenges rather than nervous about what's to come. So I don't know. Try to look at it that way, I guess. Yeah.
You could play in any DCOM and choose a character. Who would it be and why?
Ooh, like in a remake of a DCOM, or ooh.
Yeah, any remake, or even if you want to just go back and just choose a DCOM and just who would.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Smart House, 100%. Even though that movie terrified me as a child, that I'm sure that we actually have that technology these days, but a house like that to live in would be extraordinary. So I would go back and be in that movie in some way.
Right? Benjamin John Allen wants to know whether will there be a soundtrack for this season, if you can say.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited. There's a lot of music for the show, and it always gets released in some way. So I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Okay. My friend Naomi Walker Music wants to know, will you ever make music of your own? I know a lot of your castmates have released different songs and singles, EPs, albums, all of that good stuff. Do you plan on making music and releasing it?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it. I'm definitely not uninterested. I don't know. It's something that I don't really think about, but maybe in the future. Definitely not saying no.
Okay. Nicole Watkins, another one of my friends, wants to know, are you attending college? And if so, what are you studying and how do you balance acting and school?
Yeah, so I actually just graduated high school in 2017.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, so long ago. I stayed in my hometown, which was LA, and then just continued to audition for there. So I didn't go to school right after, but I just worked and studied and wanted to pursue theater and acting.
Okay. Disney.Andrea wants to know, what was your reaction like when you got the role of Ashland?
It was very exciting. I think it was more, I mean, I was insanely excited, but I think it was more relief than anything, because it kind of at that point when you're auditioning for something like that and you get that close, it's really, really hard to wait and really hard to be in the unknown if it's going to work out or not. So I think I was more just relieved to know an answer, but I just remember screaming no way over and over again. Like if I blacked out at all during that, the one thing I remember is just being like no way, no way, no way, no way. Yeah.
Okay. Lily Brave White wants to know, will there be more Ash and Big Red content in season 2, especially after the closing clip? She also wants you to know that she loves you. She says that you have the voice of an angel and can't wait to see what comes up next for you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you. I love you too. Yes, I think it's really exciting, the kind of cliffhanger that we kind of left off on with Big Red and Ashland. So it is a good teaser into what may possibly come in season 2.
Okay, well, we'll just have to wait and find out, of course. Sky Morgan wants to know, do you have any advice for young people trying to make it in the industry?
Yeah, I kind of touched on this a little bit before, but it kind of took me. I mean, I'm still learning how to embrace this fully. Kind of took me a while to figure it out, but road bumps or uncertainty or hardships or anything that you want to call it are should be exciting and seen as learning opportunities. And I kind of those I kind of look for those pockets and those moments. And so, yeah, I don't know, getting to see it from a positive side from a young age. I wish I could go back and tell myself to do that.
Right. Okay, so High School Musical, the musical, the series, Stars wants to know, did you get the chance to watch Joshua Bassett's live show? And will the viewers expect any news on season 3?
Oh my gosh. I got to see clips of his live show, and he is so, so talented. I'm so excited that he did that and so proud of him. Sorry, what was the second part of the question? Will there be more music in season 3?
Just expect news on season 3.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I would hope so. There's definitely no news yet, but crossing my fingers for that.
Fingers are crossed. John underscore celeb underscore account wants to know, what was your favorite, or what is your favorite TV show at the moment?
Ooh. Oh, I don't know if I'm watching anything currently. Honestly, I just got Paramount Plus, so I've been rewatching SpongeBob. Not gonna lie, but the last series that I watched all the way through was The Wilds on Amazon. It was brilliant. I already have a season 2, which I'm really excited about. So yeah.
Two more from my set of questions, and then I'll take a few from the question box and from the comments. Taylor.Grow wants to know, what was your favorite scene to film?
Season 2 or
In
season 1?
Anyone? You.
Yeah, some of my favorite moments in the series come in season 2, so I'll wait for those episodes to come out before I talk about them. But some of my favorite scenes from season 1 happened in episodes 5 and 7. I always say those were kind of like my special, or the episodes that were special to me. So those were the homecoming episodes and the Thanksgiving episode.
All right. And the last one comes from Blow Glory. He wants to know, what was your reaction to actually listening to Wondering for the first time?
Yeah, pretty I guess pretty emotional. I had never recorded music professionally before or heard my voice in that context before. So yeah, when it was played back, it was pretty exciting. I was a little bit nervous that other people were hearing it too, but it was more emotional than anything, and I was just really yeah, I was really proud of it.
Okay. Well, I have a couple questions from the comment section. I'm going to try my best to pronounce their username. Madjo Moron wants to know, what's your favorite episode of the first season?
Yeah, so my 2 favorite episodes of the first season are 5 and 7, which is Homecoming and Thanksgiving. And they're my favorite episodes, storyline wise, but also just we had kind of big bonding moments behind the scenes during them specifically. So I always have really great memories when I watch those.
Okay. This next question comes from Gabriella Berkmeyer. I know that Olivia has released driver's license throughout the filming process. What did you guys do to congratulate Liv on the release night?
Oh yeah, so she was actually we were all working the week of and the day that driver's license was released, so kind of getting to be with her in person was really special, and hearing how excited she was and being able to cheer her on in person was really special. And then we stopped by with a little balloon bouquet and card, and just we're so proud of her, and it was just really cool getting to be so physically close to her during that time because it was really exciting.
Okay. Do you actually have a favorite song or like dance number at all from season one? And that question comes from Kelly Pinda.
Yeah, I loved doing Born to Be Brave. That was a really cool number, especially getting to work so closely with Frankie and spend so much time with him. I mean, he had even more rehearsal than I did because that's Carlos's number. But we rehearsed that number for weeks, and I just remember, getting to relish in the hard work with him was just really, really kind of special. So yeah, Born to Be Brave.
Okay. All right. So that's all the questions I'm going to take from now. If I see any more that I want to ask, I'll definitely make sure I present those to you. I was looking at something in the comments. And we're going to go ahead and move over to the High School Musical, the series trivia. I have 5 questions that I would love to see how well you remember from season 1.
Okay.
So the first question is, what musical number from High School Musical 1 is Miss Jin watching before she walks into East High?
Oh, we're all in this together.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. The next question is, where does Big Red watch High School Musical?
Oh, and on loop in his allergist's office.
Okay. All right. The third question is, what accent does Nini talk in when she gets nervous?
A vague British accent.
Okay. All right. So you remember very well.
Yeah, and I'm honestly like, thank God, because that would be so embarrassing if I was getting these wrong. So
Okay. The last 2 are a little bit more complex. How many times has Carlos seen the first High School Musical?
oh, um, oh, oh no, 37.
37.
Oh, we did it. Oh,
Yes. Okay. All right. And then the last one. How many minutes did Carlos watch High School Musical 2 and 3?
oh, the first 15 minutes of both sequels.
Okay, you got them right. Well, if there are no more questions in the comments, I want to go ahead and thank you so much for coming on and joining me today. I love you and your work. You're incredible, and I'm so excited to see season 2.
Thank you so much. It was so wonderful to meet you. You are wonderful and amazing. And thank you to everyone who asked questions.
You have a great day.
Thank you so much. You too. Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I appreciate everybody coming on. I do have another interview on the 26th. So if you would like to come on to that, I will post about it probably sometime next week. Thank you guys so much for coming on and joining. If you missed any portion of the live, I will be resaving it. Until next time, continue to wear your mask, stay safe and healthy, and I will see y'all soon.